Okay, so now I'm going to focus on the eye area. I've moved things around a bit, and hopefully it means that you're able to see more easily the brush marks as I make them. So the first thing I want to do to establish the shape of the eyebrow again. So when you're painting the eye turned to the side, it's really helpful to find the two directions that the eyebrow goes in clearly for yourself. And then there's a bit of a shadow that runs down here, sitting back from the edge of the face. That kind of directs me down to the eyelid. And I think this could be made a little bit softer with some of the same reddish orange and yellowish orange. I'm going to mix it into the brown colour that I've just put on for the shadow there. And this colour now, this mixture will work, I think, for back here. The orange and brown kind of together there will work to explain that bit of shadow behind the eye, behind the eyelid. Hopefully you'll understand what it is as I go on. But I'm kind of finding the space within which the eye will sit through locating the shadows in these areas. Now what I want to do is find the shadow that's underneath the eye here, and it kind of follows the ball of the eye, really, this shadow. So it really allows the eye to sit in when I find that direction going out the way there. And it looks to me like that's probably parallel to the eyelid. There, yeah. And then the eyelid takes a turn up the way. So it changes direction slightly. I want to make the eyelid a little bit darker, because that's another really helpful line to find. It's the dark of the upper lid. So the eyelashes. There, I put a touch of ultramarine blue into this, and I'm just printing the colour into the wet paper. And as I stand back, I'm happy enough that that's doing what I want it to do. I can bring some of the same ultramarine dark into the eyebrow now as well. So I'm just kind of holding the brush is loaded with ultramarine and pulling it up, stopping and letting the paint run back down was the idea, but it's not doing it. Maybe I need a bit more fluidity there. So I'm going to put a little bit more blue paint on the brush, and now I'm going to pull it up, and there we go. It's a bit darker now, isn't it? Okay. God, maybe it's too dark. What I can do is dry the brush off. This is the 1/4 inch brush. Now I'm using it quite a bit at the moment, but I'd recommend that you still keep your 1 inch and the 1 and 2 inch brushes handy, so that you, if you're finding that you're getting stuck, you know that you could work on something else. Right, and now I'm going to explain the iris as I see it, how it slants back. It slants back into the head, and I'm going to use some Van Dyke brown. Van Dyke brown looks like this. It's a really dark brown, and with that mixed with the ultramarine blue gives a really dark colour. I know the light isn't great here now, but practice this at home if you want to, you know, try the two colours and you'll make a good dark. Why am I trying to make a dark? Let's see. Oh yeah, for the iris. Right, so now I'm going to find, it's a kind of a triangular shape, the iris turned to the side, wider at the top where it meets the eyelid. And it slants, to me it slants back the way. Maybe not quite as steeply as that does, but almost as steeply as that shadow. Okay, and standing back, as soon as you do a couple of moves, stand back so that you don't go down to one route too far if it's not the right route, you know. She's trying to say that fast. Okay, so now I'm putting some orange colours into the browns, because I want to fairly quickly establish the shadow that's under here as well. There we are. Don't really want it to catch the iris yet. And then it goes up like this. So the lower lid will go in that direction for a while, and then over for a while. At least in this case, that's what's happening. So you find the two directions of the eyebrow. The directions, there's two directions here too to the upper lid. And I'm just looking back at finding more shadows as I look at the photograph of my other painting of Lake. And then there's the two kind of directions of the lower lid as well. Now I'm going to clean and dry the brush so that I can scoop up a bit of that iris colour because it's quite dominant there, that drip. Okay, and now I'm going to expand out the way again and find something. So you have the shadow that runs along the nose there, runs from the iris. So I've got some orange and burnt sienna on the brush, and I pushed it up to meet the iris and the eyelashes, and now I'm allowing it to run along the length of the nose there. It runs down the bridge of the nose a little bit. And then there's the front of the cheek, kind of does something like that, I think. Okay, now I put some more dark tones in. I want to go to a bigger brush. The small brush starts to annoy you after a while. So this now is, I don't know, it's a 1/2 inch at least, I'd say, or maybe 3/4 inch. And it'll kind of fill the shape of the space in here. Now when you're painting an eye, I always say in general, do, paint everything at once. Don't just focus on the eye area alone. The reason I'm doing this is because I wanted it to be an eye demonstration, but really it's so wet now though, and better just leaving it alone for a while and bringing some of the same tones into other parts of the face where I read those